Hello, everyone. It's Friday. All day long. Friday. I hope you're all having a good day. It is snowing here. Well, it's not snowing now, but it has been. I think it has been snowing here again. This is the longest winter ever here, I'm telling you. It snowed yesterday from beginning to end and all night. And I'm like, what is up with this snow? Hi, Carlene. The Journal Connection. Oh, tell me again your name. Is it Joyce? Hi, Wendy. Hi, Angie. Hi, Bea. Nice to see you. Bea is tuning in from, is it Sweden? Snow is a 4-letter word, is the truth. I forgot something. I'll be right back. Hi, Joan. Hi, Connie. Welcome, welcome. Journal Connection is Joyce. I remembered this time. Don't ask me why or how. Switzerland. No snow in Switzerland. Well, we have it here. We saved it for you, Bea. I believe that's how you say your name. Is that correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, Bea. It's always okay to correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to names, and I like to say your names properly if I can remember. The memory is not functioning quite as well as it should be right now, but that's okay. Joan, I hope your stencil sale went well. I saw somebody today do a video. Amalia did a video that I was watching this morning, and while I was getting ready, and she unboxed her stencils, and it looked like she had gotten some wonderful stencils at the sale last week. Oh, welcome, Connie. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Judy. Yes, clocks change on Sunday here. They spring forward by an hour. I have been, for the last 10 days, one of the things I've done is participate in the Tapping World Summit online, and which is, if you've never heard of tapping, it's a healing modality that it works with the meridians of the body and so forth. If it's not something you have heard of before, it's going to sound like, well, that's just too crazy, but it works. Anyway, so I have been tapping in the mornings for several mornings now. I've been tapping on my adjustment to the time change, because the spring forward time change I have just always had a really hard time with. And there was one year that I did tapping on myself about the time change, and it was absolutely effortless. And I'm like, well, I need to remember to do that. And I only remembered it this year after years of not doing it. So you saw it too, Joan. Good. Hello, Dar. Well, good luck with your appointment. I'm glad we can keep you company till you have to go in. I have to do that too. I can keep the snow, and yes, I said it correctly. Okay, Bea. I know we eat. Oh, you're in Italy. Wow, I hope you're on vacation. Hi, Janice. Hi, Janet. Janet, I still I'm still threatening to call you. Hi, Liz. I'm still threatening to call you, Janet. I think about it, but I think about it at the times when I'm like, no, I shouldn't call right now. It's one of those, you know. I know, Janet. Yep. Time changes on Sunday. It will spring forward, which means we all lose an hour of sleep. Hey, Robin, all thumbs. Yeah, crazy. So I'm having tea with you today. I'm trying to imagine, trying to talk myself into real positive thinking. Hair looks goofy today. Oh, well, you know, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. I'm lucky to get it washed. Hi, Tori. Hello, Patricia. I know, Janet. I know. I'm trying to, you know, I think, did I show you that last week? I think the sign that says pull up your big girl panties. I think, did I show you guys that, or did I show that to my VIP group? I don't remember. In case it was not you guys, I'll show you. Charlie has joined me in the studio today. Hello, Chris. Yeah, I don't know if I showed this to you or not, but this was a friend of one of my friends. There's a group of us that get together every so often. At least we did until the blessed pandemic closed everything down. Anyway, one of the gals in the group gave these to us years ago. And so this hangs in my studio. So I have something written on it. I don't know what I wrote. Anyway, so I'm trying to live by the motto that hangs in my studio. It's right where I can see it. As I'm sitting here talking to you guys, it's right within my eye line, so I see it. You saw that? Okay. I couldn't remember if I showed it to you guys, if I showed it to the... Yeah, I'm telling you. There's a few things that this last year and a couple months have brought home very close to crystal clear within me. And one is that I need to really be aware of my head and my thinking. Yeah. Janet says, oh, just go commando and eat cake. There you go. Hi, Marion. Oh, Shelly's here. Hey, Shelly. Crafting Mamas. I think Shelly's going to try and stream tonight. And she's got some sales and things that she's involved with. So you need to be sure that if you don't know Crafting Mamas, if you don't subscribe to her, you need to do that. Hi, Gail. Anyway, my train of thought kind of loses the track every now and then. The cats are out here in the studio with me. At some point, I will probably put them back here. Especially because Charlie gets so mouthy. Oh, he's just obnoxious. He doesn't hear very well, and so the less he hears, the louder his voice is. Oh, crazy. Anyway. And if I'm talking, they think I'm talking to them, and so they have to talk to me, and you know how it is. Anyway, we got snow last night. Janet, did you get snow? Janet, did you get snow? Janet and I live in the same state. We got 4 to 5 inches of snow yesterday and last night. Tonight, it's either tonight or tomorrow. It's supposed to be 7 degrees here for the low. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Purple Nana. Gail got 6 inches. It's craziness, isn't it? Hi, Kathy. We're just sitting here talking to Kathy. Kathy, you didn't miss anything. You got snow. Yeah, we got seriously like 4 or 5 inches of snow. God bless one of my neighbors who lives around the corner from me. Came down with this giant snowblower. I mean the thing. It is a giant snowblower. It is the epitome of a big boy's toy. Huge. I've never seen a snowblower as big as this thing is. It was like, there were like 5 people that went together to buy the bloody thing. Huge snowblower. Anyway, I had to take Muppet into the vet yesterday, and that's where he works. He's not a vet, but he owns the vet clinic, part of the vet clinic, and he told me when I took her in, he says, I'll come down and do your snow tomorrow. And I'm like, God bless you. And he did it one other time, and I didn't know who did it, so now I know. And so he was here this morning, and it doesn't take very long for him to do it, but oh my goodness, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Yeah. Shelly says it's 19 degrees forecast for tomorrow for the. It is insane. Insane. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Yeah, it's nice to see all you guys. Rain in Cape May, New Jersey. Yeah, it's just a. It was, Gail. It was so nice of him, because I didn't think we got that much snow until I listened to I have an app on my phone, so I listened to it this morning to see what they said about roads and all that kind of stuff, because I was debating about whether I could get out and go do my normal thing before I stream. And they said 4 to 5 inches, and I'm like, oh no, I couldn't believe it, One of my neighbors next door over here and I were outside working in our yards a few days ago. And we were talking about how wonderful it was that we thought we were past all the bad weather. Mother Nature is sitting back there going, yeah, really? Watch this. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, anyway. Did you see Chance? There's Charlie back there. I don't know. Let's see if you can see him. Oh, he moved already. Both of them are here. Here, let's do this. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'm going to get you up here so everybody can say hi to you, and then maybe we'll toss you in the other room, huh? Oh, come on. Ugh. You're so tiny. You're so tiny. All right, let me get the cat cam. You are so tiny. Such a sweet, tiny little kitty, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Got to get the cat cam here. All right, here's Mr. Charles. Here is Sir Charles. Chance is on the floor. He'll be wanting to get up here next. Yeah, here's Charlie. He's looking kind of scruffy these days. Hi, Cigna. Oh my goodness, I tell you, it's just, I know we do the weather report, which is just kind of ridiculous when we start streaming here, but it gives everybody a chance to show up and without losing anything important. You have the cruddiest face. Yes, you do. All right, we'll make you presentable for the world for a minute. There he is. Sir Charles. He is a messy cat these days, I'll tell you. Messy, messy cat. Yeah, he's still a sweetheart, though. Hi, Becky. Oh, you're not late, Cigna. We're just sitting here shooting the breeze. Oh, you're near Kegu in Lawrence. Ah, I know exactly where that is. Wildfire season. Yeah, that is a concern I have about. One of the concerns I have about the whole California possibility. Anyway, yet to be determined. And here is Sir Chancelot. Sorry about the terrible camera work. I'm just trying to give you a shot of him. He's sitting on the table over there by me. Yeah, you can probably just barely see his ears every once in a while. Hi, Malia. Yep, it is Drama Free Friday. It is Drama Free Friday. So I can talk to you and deal with him at the same time. It is Drama Free Friday. We hope it's drama free. That is always my intention. That is always my intention. Doesn't always happen that way right now, but that is my intention. Oh, there you can see him. You can see him over there. I tell you, I am so grateful for these cats. I know you can't. See, he's just, yeah. You're just disgusting. You are a disgusting feline. He sneezes. I wipe his nose more than I think I ever wiped my son's nose. He is just disgusting at this point. He's having some respiratory issues, and anyway, so you just, when he sneezes, everybody, we all just step back and then clean him up. Anyway, that was more information than you needed to know. Yeah, Drama Free Friday. We hope it's drama free. That is the intention. It might happen, it might not. So, anyway. Yeah, he's a sweet boy, but he's, hi, Barb Fillion. And anybody that I miss saying hello to you, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us as we just sit here and shoot the breeze for a minute. He's just pretty scruffy, and he's still happy. He's still a happy cat, and so that is always my marker. He's shedding like crazy right now. I think he must be getting rid of his winter coat, and so he's shedding like there's no tomorrow, which means that we have to have the lint roller always at the ready, because otherwise I go around looking like I wear a winter coat. He's very happy up here right now. He is. He's just a happy kitty on a Drama Free Friday, right? Are you happy? He sure is loud, I will tell you that. Anyway, he's happy. He still purrs. He's messy. He's a lot of other things, but he's still happy. He spends most of the evenings, they come downstairs with me where my family room is, and they go down there, and I have a hot pad. You know, it's a pretty oversized hot pad, you know, like you'd put on your back or something, and I put it over my lap because it tends to get chilly down there, and oh my goodness, do they love that. Especially Charlie. He just crawls right up in the middle of that hot pad and makes himself at home. So he thinks that is the best thing, the snuggling. Of course, I don't get anything else done but holding a cat, and if sometimes I have to hold two cats. Yeah. So we spend a fair number of evenings with them all piled up on me. I'll show you a picture that I took last night. So let's see. So there they are. This plaid, you can see the plaid down here. That's the hot pad that they're both on top of my lap, and just loving it. They are loving it. Yeah, they are loving that. So, crazy cats. All right, so we've had the weather report. We've had the cat sightings, so maybe I can get them to go in the other room, you think? Yeah, they just love it. They just love it. Don't start sneezing on me, okay? Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. That's a good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. Have a good rest. Enjoy the sunshine. All right, cat sighting is done. My body is working a little bit better, it seems, the past few days. Not quite as achy as I was. God, I'm telling you, people. It's been a rough few weeks. Anyway, enough of that. So I thought I would show you a couple of things before we got going. I talked to you a lot about journaling, and I thought I would show you that what last year looked like. This is last year in writing. Okay, this is 2021. This is what it looks like in writing. Yeah. So this is how many journals I filled up in 2021. So when I say that I'm doing a lot of writing and I'm going places and spending time writing, I do. This is kind of how my life is at the moment. I get up early, I go to one place, I sometimes have breakfast, sometimes I just have some toast or something and a coffee, and I sit there and I journal. When I'm done with that, then I move from that place across the street to a different location, a different coffee shop, where I sit down and I get out my other journals and my other things that, books and stuff that I'm working through. And I sit there. Sometimes it takes me until noon, until it's done. Yeah. Anyway, my journals contain a lot of, like memorabilia and pictures, and sometimes I have cards. People send me cards, and if they're too big, then I reduce them in size and cut them down, and I'll put those in my journal. If they're not too big, then I actually put the card in my journal. It just depends, Hello, Trish. It's true, Chris. It is true. So, hi, Liza. Welcome. I see some new names. Hi, Shu. Hi, Joy. Joy. I'm just going to call you Joy because I can't ever remember how to say your name. Anyway, lots of writing pouring out of me. Lots of writing. And lots of cat snot coming out of Charlie. Tell you. It's a messy place around here, but it's not as messy as it used to be. Anyway. You just get what you get from me right now, folks. That's all you get. So I wanted to show you a card that I received. Speaking of cards, this came from Journey. And I wanted to show you this beautiful card that she sent. And so this is what I mean. If it fits in a journal, sometimes I will just put them in a journal. This is the journal I'm working on right now. This was a card somebody sent to me that I just reduced and printed out and put it in here. This card came from one of the things that Claus Man and I did every day for like 20 plus years, 25 years maybe, as we went and had coffee together. And we started doing that at a little coffee shop called the Coffee Clutch. It was here at a local mall. And this card was from the owner of that store, which I thought was really very kind. Anyway, Some days I can talk without becoming emotional about it. Some days I can't. Anyway, I thought this card was really beautiful, and so I thought I would show this to you. But this is called Houses of Charleston. It's by Jim Langston. And I just thought it was really, really beautiful. Anyway, from Journey Stoneman. And I wish I knew her name, but I don't. She even signed her card, Journey. I think I might have known her name at one point, but I don't know it. So, hi Ellie. So thank you, Journey. And she sent me some of her relatives that she'd been doing. So this is Harold, and this is Kesue. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Kisu. I don't know. This is Elijah and Tanner. So those were some of her goofy relatives she'd been doing. So I just put them in here and stuck them right in my journal. But by tipping it in like this in the journal, then I can just flip it up and keep writing. So this is the journal I'm working on at the moment. This is actually artwork that Janice sent me. Janice Johnson. J.L. Johnston. Let me look back because she's in the chat. I know two people with last name. They're both Janice, but one is Johnson, the other's Johnston. All right, I missed it. I don't know where it went. Anyway, J.L. did this a long time ago. Journey does rock. She really does. That was so kind of her. Anyway, so I used this artwork from Janice and I put it on this journal. And then this was, this was from a card. A card that Clausman gave me at one point. He gave me this card that had those butterflies on it. So I cut them out and put them on the journal. Well, if Journey comes in to the chat, be sure and tell her that I showed her card and the relatives that she sent, because that was really sweet. Unexpected, very sweet. Anyway, so that is the current journal that I'm working in. It's just about done. I think it's 5 or 6 weeks out of one, and then I move on. This was something that somebody else sent me, and these, I just thought I would show these to you because they're stuck in here. These are called finger labyrinths. A labyrinth is kind of like a maze. It's kind of like a maze. And there are labyrinths all over the world that you can walk. And they're very peaceful and calming and so forth. It's a very spiritual sort of thing to do. Anyway, this person sent me these finger labyrinths so I can trace the labyrinth with my fingers. So she sent me 2 of these. And they're really interesting to do. If you've never walked a labyrinth, it is you have to keep your wits about you. And the finger labyrinths are the same thing. You have to keep your wits about you, or you'll lose track and get off the path. Bye, Signa. Good to see you. So anyway. Okay, I was just checking the chat. Okay. Another thing that I was going to show you, just because, I have this thing, It's not true. I will tell you that up front. It's not true, but I can't get away from it. And it goes like this. If you just buy more books about the subject, by osmosis, by buying the books, the information will jump into your head. So anything that I get really interested in, then I, increase my library. I have a whole stack of silversmithing books that are going to have to go somewhere because I'm never going to do that again. But that's another story. Anyway, so being deeply entrenched in a grief process, it's the same thing. So it's like, yeah, I can just buy more books and it will hurry it up. It's a total lie, but it gives me something to do. Anyway, so this was a book I bought this week. It's actually very, very good. And I know that I cannot be the only person who is going through this process or will go through this process. Unfortunately, it's what happens. It's a fact of life that we all have to deal with. And this is a relatively recent book, so I just thought I would show it to you. I have found it to be very good. And I always read with a pen in my hand and usually a highlighter, but this paper that this book is printed on is not, the highlighters don't work on it very well. So anyway, I just thought I would show that to you in case someone else was interested or needed it. So there you go. Ellie has the same problem. Hi, Jan. Jan, I got your email and all the communications you've sent to me, and I just have not had the energy to sit down and write back. So, yeah, I can see by reading the chat, I'm not the only person that thinks that that falls into that same insanity. But it's like you have to have something to do, Because if I do this, it's going to make it faster. I'm going to move through this quicker, more easily. Total lie, complete and total lie. But, you have to do something. Okay. True, Ellie, but it doesn't have the same meaning. It just doesn't have the same meaning, Okay, some other things I wanted to show you. The VIP group, I have managed to kind of get myself going with the VIP group again from How to Get Creative. And so this was what we did, and I just thought I would show you what we did. And those of you who are VIP members, I've done a few more. These were scraps of watercolor paper and just little intuitive, don't think about it, little paintings. And that's true. It's very true, Trish. Very true. Hi, Sherry. Hi, CB. So anyway, I just thought I would show you these. They're just, they're just intuitive, simple, easy washes with watercolor. And I just painted on a bunch of scraps of watercolor and then figured out what they would fit on. So I just thought I would show you the various ones. Some of them are better than others, but I just made little greeting cards out of them, note cards, and all different kinds of watercolor paper that, most of it's super cheap, not good stuff. And so that's what I had, and so that's what I did. And actually, I was really tickled with how they turned out, and it was a mindless thing to do. I really liked this one. Hey, Tracy. I really like this one. I don't really know why, but I really like this one. This one was inspired by this card that a friend sent me. She sent me this card. And so I just thought that was so pretty, the way this was done. So I just used this as inspiration, and that's what I came up with. But this was the size of the watercolor paper. So that's how it went on the card. But those of you that were at the VIP class, I had showed you that card, but I didn't have this done, and so I just thought I would show it to you. It was a lot of fun to do. And this one. Can we all do more of this? Practice kindness. I seem to always have to put words on the cards. I can't let them just stand alone for whatever reason. And this one looks like it's got the measles. It's gold. It looks really bad on the camera. In real life, it's not as bad because this is gold. But anyway, you can overdo the splatters. Yeah, this is the same thing. I didn't realize how bad these would look on camera. They don't look like that in real life because the gold is much lighter in real life. But anyway, you can overdo the splatters so easily, and then they do look like chicken pox. To ink first or watercolor first? I watercolor first, and then go back with scribbly outlines. These next, I think it's 8. These I did a big sheet of watercolor, just like a 9 by 12, or was it 9 by 12? It was 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12, and I just painted the whole thing, just because I was sitting on the couch and I was trying to be distractible. And then after that, then I cut them down. So one sheet was a lot lighter in tone than the other. And I don't know which is which now. Anyway, I cut them down and made cards out of them. So I thought that was fun. Oh, this is the bright set. Yeah, so you can see the definite difference in the color. This is super bright. So the colors were not, the paint is not diluted properly. You can see how it's kind of shiny and all. I'm not a watercolorist. I just play and pretend. So, but they turned out, for something that was mindless and, who cares? They turned out okay. So there's this particular stage of whatever right now, I need to be doing things, but I don't have the energy to do anything. And so it's like, what are the small mindless things that I can do? That's one of the things I could do, and it's worked out. So anyway, I got some happy mail. I've received a lot of happy mail over the last several months, and I know that I haven't shown any of it. It's all in a pile in a different part of the house. These things I picked up this week. Most of these, not all of them, I picked up this week, and so I just wanted to share them with you so you could see some of the beautiful things that I had been sent. This was a heart that Patricia, and that's Creative Trish. She's in the chat. Creative Trish sent this, and I don't know, Trish. I don't know how to say your last name. Anyway, she made this beautiful heart for me and sent to me. I think this was something that maybe Becky started, but I'm not sure. But isn't that pretty? Hearts of love. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Just so pretty. So I just picked these up the other day at the post office. They'd probably been there for ages. But how pretty. Little scraps and snippets and all kinds of things. So pretty. So there was that one. So that came from Trish. She's in the chat today, I believe, or at least I saw her earlier. And then these came to me weeks ago. This is from one of the Sharons, and I always get Sharon Marlowe and Sharon Lombard confused. And her name, she didn't write her name on this, and I got the card separated from the heart. But isn't that pretty with all the beading around it? Beaded trim. So pretty. So there's that one. I'm going to put a hanger on it and put it up someplace. And then Becky sent me this one. This one came in December at exactly the right moment. Sorry, having a moment. Thank you. And this came, woo, sorry, I'll get it back together here. This came from Esther Thompson in Louisiana. And she sent me a little ATC, which was really sweet. And she had a bunch of little die-cut things in it, which was really cute. This one came from Charlene McCrate, and this was so funny. Janet Young will appreciate this one. And so here's the card, and it comes this way. And it's a monkey hula hooping. She said she just had to make this for me. But is that the cutest thing ever? So far, the hula hoop is still winning. I have not conquered the hula hoop yet. Yeah. All right. Just drop something on the floor. Just a second. Okay. So I have not had just a ton of energy to do stuff or think up things or come up with stuff. Not that I don't have plenty of books and plenty of ideas and folders and notebooks and everything else that could inspire me. We know that because we just had the discussion about my inability not to buy books and magazines. And if I had all the money that I've spent on books and magazines the last however many years of my life, because it's something I've done all my life. Like, it is something I have done since I was a kid, the thing of buying books. I even talked to my mother when I was a kid, talked her into buying me, we got some thing in the mail that was about books. And it was a library of books for kids, and I was just fascinated with them because they sent you one to look at. And it was one book on one side, and then you turn it upside down, and it was another book on the other side. And I loved that concept so much. I talked my mother into buying those books for me. I don't know how many of them I read, but I loved looking at them. I'm telling you, I loved looking at them. Anyway, so here are the bookmarks that I have managed to stretch into weeks and weeks and weeks. This one I think is done, other than mounting it on black cardstock, which I thought I would cut before I got started today, but I didn't. I took a nap instead. And this is the one that I worked on last week. And I think it's done too, other than mounting on black. The watercolor paper for these is not very heavy, and so they'll have to be mounted. Besides that, this one has a failed mandala on the other side of it. Anyway, I like the way this one turned out. This was just a way of kind of honoring, remembering whatever the Ukrainian people. And hi, Catherine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, I liked how it turned out. So that you can see the whole big thing. And so this is how it looks close up. So I drew it and then inked it and then colored it with the Cezanne colored pencils, both of these. And then in my bag of watercolor scraps, I just reached in and grabbed another one, and so this one was the one that, this size, so it's a different size than these. It's wider, and so I think this one will work as a front of a card maybe. And I decided, rather than drawing from the center out as I did here, oh Chris, you're very sweet, thank you. Um, Hi, Christine. I decided instead of starting in the middle to start at one end. And so that's what I did. Apologies. Okay. So I started down the corner, and this is not laid out using a compass or a ruler or anything. This is just, I just started, and the circles are wonky. Everything about it is wonky. And some of these, like this is a Zentangle pattern. I don't know the names of the Zentangle patterns. I just draw the ones I like. And so I've laid them out, sort of, and then I'm going to go from there and see what happens. So I drew it in pencil. It's all freehand. And then I inked it last night and erased the pencil. And if I could see, if I could see at the moment, I will keep going. Okay, so I'm going to use I think of the 01 micron, and I'm going to do this little pattern up here. So let me zoom in. Again, I don't know what the pattern name is, but I like it because I like the way that this pattern fills space. And I like how it kind of creates an optical illusion. So that's what I'm going to do up here. But I literally at the moment can't see. It's a lot better to laugh so hard that you can't see. Anyway, okay, let's see if I can get my bearings here. If I blink enough times, I'll be able to see, I'm sure. All right, this pattern, and normally I don't draw it in pencil first. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of the pencil marks because I'll never be able to follow the pencil marks. So we're just going to get rid of it. I just did that to see if I liked it, and I thought, yeah, I think I do. So I just got rid of the pencil. Okay, and so I can never remember if you go from the narrow end to the wide end or vice versa, so I just do it the way I want. So I'm going to start here and start in the corner, and I find that I pretty much have to turn the thing that I'm working on. If I turn it the correct way, it would help. It's a little trickier when it's not a squared off space. But like most of the Zentangle patterns, you have to keep your head in the game. That was one of Clausman's favorite things to say. Gotta keep your head in the game. No, that is not what he said. He said he liked to get ahead of the game. That's what he'd say. He liked to get ahead of the game. Yeah. And when you're drawing patterns, you do need to keep your head in the game. So if I get this off screen every little bit, apologies. I'm trying to watch what I'm doing on the screen and watch what I'm doing here with you guys. So Muppet had to go to the vet yesterday, and she had to get her teeth cleaned. First time she's had her teeth cleaned, which is probably bad pet parent. But she had an issue with her gum in the front of her mouth. Muppet is our little black mixed breed dog, in case you're new and you haven't been around. And when Race was home in December and January, he had discovered it, because I just truly hadn't had time to look at the dog. And he said, "Do you know she's got a big lump in her mouth?" And immediately I was like, "Oh no," because I've lost animals in the past to whatever that kind of mouth cancer is. They get once they get that, there's no treatment for it, and so I was really fearful that might be what it was, but it wasn't, and it was just it was called a hyperplasia. And so it had her gum had, apparently she'd gotten food or something up under the gum, and the gum had decided to just, surround the offender, and so she had a lump in her mouth, but that gum was just about to cover her tooth, and it was one of the teeth right in the front of her mouth. And so the vet said this was back in early January when she had another problem, and he had said, "Well, we'll make an appointment to get her teeth cleaned," and he said, "Then we'll just take that off at the same time." So yesterday was her day to go in and have that done, and she's just about recovered today, I think, but she was a mess last night. Oh my goodness, that dog was a mess. She was, they did it in the morning, and then they kept her pretty much all day. And I picked her up at 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and the poor little thing, she was still staggering, and she was still so, she was still having a rough go of it. And then she'd walk around in the house last night, and she'd whine, and they told me I could go ahead and feed her, so I fed her a couple of small meals. And hi, Barbara. So she thought that was great. She ate her food, but then she couldn't settle down. She was having a terrible time trying to settle down, so she had me up a couple times in the night to go outside, and I'm like, "Oh, dog, you just can't do this to me." You know how they are. They're just babies. So while she was out, another thing that I had lost control of completely was cutting her toenails. And so while she was out, I asked them to please give her a real thorough manicure, pedicure, which they did. And so they got her all slicked up. So I'm sure she woke up and didn't know what hurt more, her feet or her mouth or what. And she is one pitiful dog when it comes to not feeling good. And I think this was probably the second time she was ever put under anesthesia. And I think the first time was when she was spayed, and that was years ago. So she was not very happy about that whole experience, but because she was so disoriented, she just, poor little thing. Poor little thing. I'm not sure that I'm even drawing this pattern exactly correctly. And, in the final analysis, as long as I do the same thing or something similar, it really won't make any difference, right? But this is just watercolor paper. And a freehand drawing that I have no idea if it will serve any purpose, if it will live on a card, if it will get stuck in a journal or in a pile somewhere later to be dealt with. Could be any of the above. But I really like this pattern. I think it's a, whether this is the real thing or a version of the real thing, I don't know. So anyway, so that was Muppet. And then every time she went outside, when I took her to the vet, there was no snow. There was snow, but it was, hadn't accumulated yet. By the time she came home, it had started accumulating. By the time she went out to go in the backyard last night around midnight, there was snow up over her feet, up about ankle deep. And this morning when she went out, she was still a little staggery, but not too much. And this morning it had drifted enough that it was up much higher, and so she was kind of having to fight her way through the snow. She was very unimpressed with any of that. So on top of being disoriented from anesthesia, somebody was messing with her backyard, and so that was very distressing to her as well. Poor little girl, I'll tell you. I mean, she could hardly get on the couch last night. She was just real unsteady on her feet. So that was the Muppet saga. But they got her feet taken care of, and I said, okay, I should be able to take it from here now, because I have, the stuff to take care of her. I just didn't, there just wasn't enough of me to do it. Kept most of the balls in the air for as long as I could, and then they kind of all crashed on me. Anyway, getting it back together. Okay, so there's that one. So what I like about this, and I'll disguise this down here some here. Under normal circumstances, this would, we'll just do it here. We'll just do this. So it just kind of completes the line. Anyway, so what you end up with this is by the patterns going together. Oh, thank you, Jan. The illicit fund. Thank you. Oh, you've been unsteady on your feet before, but you were drunk? I've heard about you, CB. I've heard about you. Your reputation precedes you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm going to move to this one. But what is interesting about this is the optical illusion that it creates. That even though you've done it in rectangles or squares, it creates this spinning optical illusion, which is, I think, is really cool. So we'll just put that in there. All right, so let's start on this one. Maybe we'll start right here. Doesn't really matter where you start. Just, pick a spot and do it. But I find that it's easiest if I just keep turning the project. Once you get it started, it goes fairly quickly, but you do have to keep your wits about you a little bit. Got to keep that head in the game, don't you? I just really like the illusion of what it does. I'm just gonna put that extra little line that I'm drawing in there is not part of the pattern. Not supposed to be there, but you know. Whew, I think I've about recovered from my near meltdown. It just happens from time to time. Unexpected, comes out of the blue, don't know where, don't know why. Usually it just happens, and it's just the way it is. And so if I am if being witness to the process that I am currently dealing with is a problem or a trigger for you, please just switch channels, just turn it off, head on someplace else. It's fine. I'm not going to be offended. I won't even know about it. So yep, I had the best laid plans of mice and men and think I've got my act together and I'm doing great and everything's fine, and I mean it can come out of nowhere. So anyway, but one of the things that is nice if you need to keep your hands busy and need a distraction, patterns like this, whether they're Zentangle patterns or drawing mandalas or just doodling or any kind of repetitive mark making, can be a really good thing to do. And you have to allow yourself, if you're in a space where you're not completely reliable, then you have to allow yourself space for making mistakes and screwing it up, because you might. So there's another one. Okay, so let's see, and I'll probably do something in those spaces in there. Let's see, what can I do? Maybe we'll just do, just for the purpose of filling this space a little bit more. This is not part of the pattern. But it will just fill the space a little bit more. Good enough. All right. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So I watched that, the seasons of Blown Away. I think it was Becky, Aunt Beck, I think is the one that recommended that or said she liked it on Netflix. It's a glass blowing competition. I wish they had a lot more seasons of that. I only found 2 seasons of it, but it was really interesting. I like those competition type shows. I hate it when they send people home, but that's the nature of competition, huh? I've been watching old seasons of Masterchef Australia, which I really like because there's like a ton of episodes per season. So I really have enjoyed that a lot. Again, mindless television. Okay, so there's that one. And then we'll come over and do this little guy here. Hey June, are you talking about the doll making group you used to have? No. I don't know, what did I say? When I do this stuff, I just rattle. So I don't even know what I said that made that. Oh, Great Pottery Throwdown. Yes, I watched all of those seasons and I loved that. Yeah, I did. I did really enjoy that. Okay, so this is going to come in here like so. I don't know what I said about the doll making stuff. This is going to be, if this comes out, it's going to be a miracle, okay? Since I'm working on a partial thing here, it's like this could be totally crazy. Making it up as I go along here. One of the things that I never have trouble with is headaches. And for some reason, I seem to be getting a corker of a one going. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, maybe now I can do this. See, we're just trying to fake it out here. We're trying to say that we know what exactly what this is, but pretty much I'm just making it up. Okay. Well, it didn't come out too badly. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, we'll call that okay. All right, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this. This one is known as Knight's Bridge, I think. Janet is one of the people that knows. Janet knows a lot of the Zentangle patterns. I think CB does too, right? Don't you guys both do that? Hi, Alicia. Hi, Janice. Okay, so let's do this. Now, when I'm going to do one of these, I'm going to fill this in. It's going to be a black and white pattern. I go through and mark the squares so I know which ones are going to get filled in, because I do not trust myself not to screw this up. So I just go through here and mark the ones that are going to get colored. Now, you know if you're okay, if you're doing it right, if the colors, if the part that's going to get colored in, if they touch corner to corner, then you know you're doing it right. But that still doesn't stop me from messing it up. So that's why I go through and mark them first. And then when I come back with the color, I'll do something in the colored, in the alternate squares with color, with the colored pencils and stuff. Is this Paradox, Janet, this one? CB says yes, but we do, but never remember the names. Janet knows the names because she has them all written down. June says she went to one of my doll making classes a long time ago. Wow, how cool. Knight's Bridge has curvy lines. Well, whatever this one is, that's the one we're going to, whatever pattern this is, we're going to do a checkerboard. We'll just call it a checkerboard. How about that? Paradox. Okay, so this is Paradox. And this is some sort of Knight's Bridge. What's this one down here? You guys know what that one is? Muka? Oh, Muka. Okay, that's Muka. They just happened because I was just trying to fill space. And so, well, I drew this thing down here and I thought, well, I'll repeat that. I try to repeat things through the mandala, which in a space like this, because of this weird shape, is a lot harder to do. Anyway, anyhow, I don't even know what, I'm just rattling. Yeah, I'm just rattling at this point. Okay, let's see if we can fill in some of this. I gotta put a piece of paper under this because otherwise I'm gonna mark on the mat, which I don't really need to do. This has got to be like one step away from that ASMR or whatever it is, TV, YouTube things. The first time I ever ran across that, is it ASMR? Where they don't talk, they just like rattle pencils and crinkle paper and do that sort of thing, which it has a reason. You know, there's a reason behind doing that. But I didn't know it at the time, so I had clicked on a video. This is years ago. and I was going to watch, whatever it was, and it had the letters ASMR on the video, but I didn't have any idea what it meant, and I kept waiting for him to talk. I'm like, okay, enough with the pens. Tell me what you're doing, So then I thought, this must have to have something to do with those letters. And so I looked it up, and I went, oh, okay. So this must be one step away from that. There's lots of other videos on my channel here where it's a lot more fast moving and entertaining. I should retitle the channel Barb Goes Through Grief. Sometimes you just have to laugh at yourself, It's just reality, It's just part of the process. The only other thing I can do is just not broadcast, but I missed most of last year not broadcasting, not doing things, and I decided that I was just going to have to pull up those big girl panties because I can't go commando like Janet can. I was just going to have to do it and get that thing of get back on the horse, Got to just do it. One of the things that I really like about this style of mandala, which I have not done before, is I like the contrast between the dark black and then the light, the very light spaces. And there are some artists out there, mandala artists, that is exactly what they do. They leave it just in the stage of the black and the blank, black and blank, black and white. This is not white, that's why I'm saying blank. It's just like a cream colored watercolor paper, off-white watercolor paper is more appropriate. Anyway, and they do beautiful work. They do them just in black and white and do some phenomenal, huge pieces of artwork. And I just can't quite let it be just black and white. Obviously, because, I turn right back around even though I've got the black and white and have to put color. Color is my thing. I like color. And so I had every intention of leaving those as just black and we'll say white, black and white. I just couldn't do it. And then I thought about adding shading like they do with Zentangle, with graphite. And then I thought, I don't think I can do that either. That's just not enough. Right now I just need color. So, yeah. But you can see how by having the pieces, the little squares X'd in, then I don't have to think. I just go, yep, this is the next one. So for me, that works. And I do believe that when you're being creative, even if you learn a technique or you learn something from someone and you go, oh, that's really cool, but I would do it this way. Well, then you just adapt it and, make it work for you. So don't forget that Crafting Mama's Shelly is going to be on tonight. She's in her new space and getting adjusted to her new place. So that'll be fun to see what she's going to do. And I don't know. I've lost track of who else is doing what. I know Becky, Aunt Beck's Creations, does. She broadcasts. I lost track of what the schedule is. The Marriottier also has a channel. She does early mornings most of the time. Although I think she's probably on tonight too. She usually does Friday night. And I'm not sure who else is here. I know Bea Grob, who was here from Switzerland earlier, may still be here. She has a YouTube channel. I don't think she does live YouTube lives, but she has a channel. Beautiful artwork. So check each other out. Feel free to put in the chat that you have a channel. Invite people to come and participate in what you do. You can never have too much inspiration. You can never learn too much, and even if you learn the same thing from two different people, you're going to hear it in two different ways. And one of them may speak to you, and one of them might not. Yeah, Becky's putting in her information. You're back. You're glad. Hi, Debbie Boring. Okay. Oh, and Janet does her live on Mondays at, I think it's 1 Eastern, I think. Sometimes I actually get to be there. Well, when I very first started streaming, I was dealing with the loss of my mother and subsequent loss of my entire nuclear family, which that's why I wrote the book and why why I don't feel the need to talk about it. Because I wrote the book, Normal Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Man, was that prophetic. That was a prophetic book I wrote. I had no idea. It's a good thing we don't know, because if we knew, we would just not go on. Anyway, that was when I started streaming on Ustream. And so it's funny how some of us do things very publicly and some of us don't. Some of us are very private. Some of us are very public. Do not ask me why dealing with things like this, for me, being in public is a part of the process. I have no idea why. It's where I write in public. If I stay at home, I can't write. I have to be someplace out in public. Yeah, crazy. Sometimes it's just crazy. Had somebody on YouTube, this is quite a while ago, somebody got upset with me because I had made some crack at myself about being, what did I say? Oh, I said that I had, whatever was going on, I said, man, it was just like, I'm sure I gave myself brain damage or something like that. Man, that got somebody cranked on, and they got all upset with me because I was being disrespectful. I was being disrespectful about people who had brain injuries. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm making a crack at myself, I tried to explain that, but whoever it was didn't accept my explanation nor my apology and got very upset with me. So that's when I learned about blocking. Because sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. You got to let people be who they are. We all have our things, you know? We all have things that we're very sensitive about, and the rest of the world is not. And that's when you got to pull up your big girl panties and just deal with it. Because it's like, if this really bothers you, go somewhere else. You know, if what that person is saying pushes my buttons, then I need to go to a different channel. Or how about this? Get off the computer. Get off the phone. Get off the iPad. You know? You just got to do what you have to. Take care of yourself. And you have to do what works for you. And as I said, what works for one person does not work for anybody else. And it's okay. We don't have to all be alike. But we also don't need to go around attacking each other because of our differences. There's a few countries in the world that could take a lesson on that, huh? I think some of those leaders of some of those countries need to get out some pens and paper or a glue stick and some magazines and make a glue book or draw some patterns or something. And here comes the Muppet. Here comes the little Muppet. Are you going to talk to us? Hi, Mupp. Come here. Muppet. Muppet. Come here. Mupp. Hey. Muppet. Come here. She can't hear anymore. She hears very little. So she comes up and checks on me, and then she goes away. Come here, Mupp. Muppet. Hey. Come here. There we go. Got your attention. Yes, I did. All right. We'll take a Muppet break. We'll take a Muppet break, won't we? Yes. Yeah, we will. Yes, there she is. There she is. Poor little girl. Poor little girl. Come here. Come here. Come on. Can you get up here? Can you get up here? Nope. Okay. Yeah, this is the Muppet. There she is. Sweet baby. Sweet baby girl. Yes. I know. It's hard when you can't hear very well and your mouth is sore and your feet hurt and then you got the sneezes. Yes. Like apparently she's had enough of us. Apparently that's all she had to say about it. Apparently she's done. She came up and took a look and decided everybody was okay, and so she's done. She's so sweet. She is a sweet girl. Are you coming back? Are you coming back? Okay. Well, come on. I'll get your camera set up for you. Yes. You can share the cat cam. You can share the cat cam, can't you? Yes, you can. You sweet baby girl. Yes. You sweet girl. Yeah. Such a good girl. She's such a good puppy dog. She had a very rough start in her life. Very rough start in her life. But we got her when she was 8 months old, and she'd already been in 2 different families. And one of them was very abusive. I don't know. I would assume it was her first one, but I don't know. Anyway, she had a rough start. And she's a combination of some very active breeds. And so it took quite a while to get her calmed down. She's a sweet puppy. Hey, Vicky. Vicky Barton sent me. Vicky, you know, I was talking, was it last week or the week before? I don't even remember. Talking about the dead squirrel in the backyard. And me talking to the neighbor, and what am I going to do with this squirrel? And he says, put it back over your hand and pick it up. You know, me, I'm thinking I'm going to be the pitiful female, and he's going to take pity on me and come over and take care of it for me. No, he says, just put it back over your hand, pick it up. Anyway, Vicky took pity on me, and she and her husband sent me a a critter disposal tool. So, yeah. So now I don't have to do that. Hello, this Miss Mary TA. I was talking about you earlier. Yeah, they sent me a grabber, so I didn't have to touch the dead critters. Janet didn't have anything kind to say about my neighbor since he wouldn't come over and pick it up for me. I kind of thought the same thing. Like, how come you can't just, like, take a hint? Why do I have to, like, ask you to come over and do this? Wouldn't you just, like, come help a girl out? Anyway. Where are we? 2:27. I will not get this finished today. I mean, I won't even finish this section today because I'm just about at the place where I'm going to have to call it a day here. I'll finish this row. And then when I can get my nose right down on the paper, I'll come in and probably straighten up some of the lines. Although, since it's hand-drawn and I did not grid it out or use a ruler. I know, Janet, I didn't use a ruler. Grab your pearls, Janet. I did not use a ruler. I'll come in and kind of straighten things up, maybe. I was going to do some jelly plate printing today. However, I just didn't have it in me to do it, so I didn't. So that's still on the back burner. I still want to do some jelly plate printing on fabric. I used to do a lot of that, and I'm out of all of my jelly fabrics, so I need to do that. But I think the sun has been out long enough today that I think it's melted off most of the worst of the snow on the streets. So after I relax a little bit, I think I will go and park myself in a coffee shop and add to my collection of journals. Add to the collection of journals. It'll make a nice bonfire someday. But until then, what it will do is keep me from exploding. And it would be very messy if Barb exploded. I know this. Wonky lines, part of the charm. There you go. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thank you. I know I've missed a lot of the chat today, but I can't leave Janet, that's not a solution. Just saying, that's not a good idea. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I think I only had one meltdown today, so that's progress. It is what it is. It just is what it is. So, thank you for being here, and I will see you again soon. I hope. I don't know when, but hopefully before long. The plan is always to be here on Friday, but we'll just see what happens. You never know. I could pop in some other time. If I can't sleep some night, I may stumble down here and turn on the camera. You never know. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a great rest of your day and weekend, and wherever you are in the world, have a peace to each of you. So thanks for being here. I will hopefully be back before you know it. So remember to get creative today, because it's easy, right? One step at a time, one foot in front of the other. I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.